So maybe I'll start this session like this. No pun intended, Jeff Sessions. I mean, we just legalized weed here in marijuana, weed here in Massachusetts. And Jeff Sessions is like the most anti-weed person in the world. And I'm mighty afraid he's going to come in and like wage war on marijuana here in Massachusetts. Not that it's that important to me. But that on top of all of the problems of Jeff Sessions, his racist background, his racial baggage, his entire attitude towards criminal justice reform. Jeff Sessions is probably one. His attitude towards illegal immigration period, deportations. His attitude towards so many things are highly detrimental to people of color, minority groups. If he can weigh in on the LGBT marriage equality movement, he will. In any form or fashion that he can. He is a staunch religious conservative who thinks that people who smoke weed are just bad people. So he's going to bring in a war against everything that's not neatly fit into the conservative Christian ideology, political ideology. All right, so I think Jeff Sessions is one of the most dangerous appointments that Donald Trump has made so far, and he's appointing him to Attorney General. Today, NAACP President Cornell William Brooks was among 10 to 20 members of the civil rights organization who participated in a sit-in protesting the nomination of Jeff Sessions. And during that sit-in, the CEO, or the president rather, of the NAACP was arrested. They're protesting on behalf of some of the things that Jeff Sessions said. Jeff Sessions believes that the Klan, Ku Klux Klan, now he denies this at this point, but there's plenty of people who can attest to him having said that the Ku Klux Klan is quote unquote okay. He hinted that he might roll back advances in the Obama administration has made against police misconduct. He opposes the Voting Rights Act. He actually referred to it as, quote, intrusive legislation. But, that's the point, right? The point is that, states who have a problem, like Alabama, who had a problem with voting rights, needed the federal government to come in and to help them get over their problem with voting rights. And that's the nicest way I could possibly say it. In other words, southern states, primarily southern states like Alabama, did everything they could to block people of color, African Americans, from voting. And it required intervention from the federal government. Jeff Sessions doesn't like that intervention. It's ironic that they are super duper okay with the federal government intervening on moral issues, what they believe to be moral issues, and then they are completely against the government intervening on things that they feel are against their moral issues, their moral beliefs. So it's like at certain times they're all about states' rights. Other times they don't give a damn about states' rights. Case in point, the NRA, they're looking for what's it called, recidivism? I forgot there's the phrase where they want their license to be recognized across the country. Right. So if you can get a gun in Alabama, that license has to be recognized in Massachusetts. Right. So you have Republicans who are all about states' rights up until the point where it infringes on something that they stand for. And then they're totally okay with doing away with states' rights when it benefits something that they want. So Cornell Brooks, he said, quote, "We don't derive any pleasure from opposing this nomination, but here's what we know. The Voting Rights Act was literally born in Selma, Alabama, and Senator Sessions is a son of Selma. He was born in Selma." I didn't know that. I was born in Selma too. But if we look at what Selma means, if we look at what the Voting Rights Act means, and we look at his record, we have to oppose him. In addition to the sit-in from the NAACP against Jeff Sessions, according to the Washington Post, a group of more than 1,100 law school professors from across the country are sending a letter to Congress on Tuesday, have sent a letter to Congress today, urging that the Senate reject the nomination of Senator Jeff Sessions for Attorney General. It was signed by professors from 170 law schools in 48 different states. They said, quote, "We are convinced that Jeff Sessions would not fairly enforce our nation's laws and promote justice and equality in the United States." There you have it. Jeff Sessions is probably one of the most dangerous appointments that Donald Trump could make. And he's the one that we have to let our senators know there is a cost to pay. If you live in a state with a Republican senator, because if a single Democrat votes for this man, if a single Democrat votes for this man, they need to be primaried, period. Bottom line. But if you live in a state, both of our senators are Democrat. If you live in a state that has a Republican senator, you need to get on the phone, call your senators, and put pressure on them and let them know that you're not only going to vote against them in 2018 or whenever their election is up, you're going to organize against them. And that this is a non-starter. This is absolutely unequivocally a non-negotiable. If they vote for Jeff Sessions, we are organizing against them. Let your senator know.